getting divorced or you're thinking about it?
I'm going through a divorce now. Have two kids. No, she thinks that she is the best. She was always right. She's better than everybody, but
Women cannot respect a guy that they can't look up to. One of the biggest indicators of a divorce coming is when women get promotions, they get degrees, and they start making more money. Actress Halle Berry says paying child support is extortion. When women cry that it's extortion or that it's wrong when they have to pay so much money to another guy, suck it up, Buttercup. Okay, let's see what Graham's got for us. And again, the link, if you want to call in, is at the top of the live chat. It is on. What's up, man? What can I do for you?
Hi, good afternoon, Rich. How are you?
Good. You getting divorced or you're thinking about it?
I'm going through a divorce now. Have two kids. One is 3, one is 1. I'm in Brampton, Ontario, so not in Canada. My situation is a little different. I think I may be lucky because she makes more than me and we have shared custody now. So I may not get raped, and she may have to pay me like $550 in child support a month.
Okay.
But she's being very difficult. But my other question is, I find it difficult to think I would find another relationship in the future. What is your advice for that?
Why do you think it'll be difficult to find something else in the future?
Because she basically brought me down. Basically, she did.
Okay. So low value woman.
No, she thinks that she is the best. She was always right. She's better than everybody. But
well, she made more money than you, so that's why you ended up hearing stuff like that. Like, women cannot respect a guy that they can't look up to. Like that's the whole premise behind hypergamy, right? One of the biggest indicators, one of the biggest predictors of a divorce coming is when women get promotions, they get degrees, and they start making more money. Let me tell you the story. So I knew this guy years ago in my 20s, and he ran this auto shop. His brothers were in the same business. They were all very successful, nice houses, busy shops all the time, right? Like, loved the guy. He was very honest. He was good to talk to, dealt with him for years. So we got to know each other. And at one point he dropped on me. I think he was driving me somewhere because I needed a ride back home. And, sometimes he would just drive me. And he dropped on me, my wife's in law school and she's downtown. I had to buy a condo for her to stay at so that she can go back and forth between school and classes and this apprenticeship and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, at the time, I didn't know any different because that was 25 years ago, right? And I was like, okay. Well, long story short, another year goes by, and it turns out after his wife became licensed as a lawyer, she divorced him. She divorced the guy that put her through law school. He had a whole bunch of kids with her, like 3 kids with her. And she just decided that she wanted to become a lawyer and she needed the money to pay for it. So he paid for it all. So he put her through that into an environment where she was now making more money than he was as an automotive shop owner, right? Because you're only going to pay yourself so much.
Yeah.
The punchline, which isn't a punchline, is the last time I heard about him, a year after that, he dropped dead in his shop. They came in there one day and he was dead on the ground. He had a heart attack, like in his 50s, right? Wow. So the thing that you got to understand about women is you don't put them up on a pedestal. You don't worship them. It's nice to have a gal that can make money, but the problem with it, though, which is actually good for you in your case because you're getting divorced. So the downside is she won't respect you. She's going to belittle you. She's going to put you down. I'm better than you. I'm better than everybody else. Look at all the degrees on the wall that I have, framed in mahogany. I wish I was made out of mahogany, right? Chicks like that. The good news is because she makes more money, she's probably going to end up paying you child support. And take it, my friend. I'm going to tell you something straight up. The vast majority of men, because of shame and guilt, do not want to take child support from their exes.
I'm taking it.
Take it, because there's no woman that ever says no to child support or alimony. So if you're entitled under the rule of family law because she makes more money than you, go for it, my man. Now,
I have one more question, one more important question I always wanted to ask you.
Sure. Do you want to hold that for a second so I can answer your first question?
No problem. Go on.
As far as finding a chick There's 8 billion people on a planet. There's 4 billion women. It's incredibly arrogant and ignorant of us to think that, how am I going to find somebody else? If that's what you truly want. What I would recommend to most guys is, after they get divorced, just sit with it. Date, spin plates. Don't commit to anybody. Don't commit to any woman, right? Just get your head squared away. Let the water flow under the bridge. You're going to deal with some bullshit. You got small kids. You're going to be dealing with, well, I want to have a FaceTime call with Billy. And why didn't you answer your phone? And she's going to be blowing up your shit, right? You're going to be dealing with some of the fallout of untying the knot. Don't rush into anything. You've already got 2 small children. You're going to have them half the time. You're going to do some parenting. Enjoy it. Work on yourself. You got deficiencies that you can improve on. You want to become more competent. You want to learn combat skills. You want to learn how to make life-changing money. Like, you never want to be in a position where you make less money than a chick.
Yeah. And my last question is, I know you're divorced. My fear is, which my father had when he got divorced, is, how do you deal with, I don't know if this happened to your ex-wife, how do you deal with another man around your children or your child?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that is risky, especially if you have a daughter, right?
I have 2 boys.
Yeah.
2 boys.
Well, it happens to boys too. Like, boys get violated by people in the household, and when I'm saying people, it's always non-blood relatives. The most dangerous person you can have in your house with children, doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl. I mean, girls are obviously higher at risk, especially with males, but the biggest risk that you can have is somebody in the house that is not blood related. That's where the violations occur. That's where in the middle of the night, they go in the room and they try to pull something. You have to have an opportunity to have a conversation with your ex-wife and say, look, this is the reality of the world today. This is the most dangerous thing for children. Make sure that when you're dating, you choose wisely, right? Give it lots of time. See what they're made out of. Even when you see what they're made, you're going to have these conversations along the way when she gets closer and closer to wanting to introduce somebody to your kids, right? Depending on what the step is. Okay, Becky's got a boyfriend now. Okay, cool. Are you going to introduce him to the children, and when? If it's not for 6 months down the road, who cares? When it gets closer to that point, then you can say, look, one of the riskiest things that small children potentially deal with, and I know a lot of people that have gone through this, is the violation of a non-blood relative. It doesn't generally happen with a blood-related relative, okay?
Okay.
There's evolutionary reasons for that I don't need to get into, but it more often happens when there's a stepdad, stepbrothers, or something like that brought into the household, and you have small children. That's when you have to prepare them for the conversation. And they're not going to want to hear it. They're going to say, Graham, you're insane. Why would you say that? He's not like that. You think I'm an idiot, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Have the conversation. Have the conversation anyway, because a good man that's also good at being a man that cares about his children is going to let the kid's mom know that this is an important conversation. It has to be had. She's not going to like it, but you got to have it.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Rich. I'm a huge fan, and you helped my life in so many ways. Thank you.
All right, Graham. Peace.
Bye.
All right. Good for him. I mean, there's a social post that somebody shared the other day with Halle Berry, and she was complaining. What did she say? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll show it to you. But apparently, she's been divorced, and I think she's paying something out of pocket. Let me see if I can find it here now. Halle Berry, where are you? We haven't seen her around in a movie for a while. I think the last good movie I saw her in was a Bond movie. She was a Bond girl on it. Come on, where are you? There she is. Sure. I'll put up on the screen so you guys can see it before we wrap it up. Actress Halle Berry says paying child support is extortion. Halle Berry believes it's wrong to pay child support. That's more than what's reasonably needed for the child. Oh, let me just play my little violin, because 95%, 98% of the time, it's guys that are dealing with that BS, where they realize that when they're married, the total cost for clothing and swim class and little Billy soccer was like $1,000 a month. And then they go and get divorced, and they got to cut her a check for $5,000 a month in child support. I got a friend, he's got 3 kids, and by the way, all 3 kids live with him, and they're all adults, but he's somehow paying $42,000 a month to this chick, grown-ass adult, in support because of divorce. So, you know, when women cry, a little violin again, when women cry that it's extortion or that it's wrong, you know, when they have to pay so much money to another guy, suck it up, buttercup. That's family law. That's what you guys all voted for. But the thing is 95% of the time it's guys getting screwed by the moms. It's very, very rare that the moms get screwed by the guys. So take it, guys. If you're entitled to it, take it. Who cares? Take it your way. It is what it is. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the Courses tab. Newer to the channel? Hit subscribe.